Hi, this is Chuck at Midori Farm. It's a pretty nice day today again, so we're going to talk about trimming our tomato plants, or pruning them as it may be. Now first of all, you can see that I have these cages built around the tomatoes, and this is providing some support for them. Many people trellis their tomatoes up on stakes, but I've chosen to cage them in on three sides, and what that allows is for them to grow and be supported as they grow, and I don't have to do as much tying or training. They'll just kind of grow into their space, and that gives them a lot of extra support. However, when you're growing your tomato plants, it's important that you decide whether or not you want to prune them. What happens with tomato plants, and if you can come in close I can show you, is you start down here and you can see there's a central stem that grows up, and you'll have a couple of different kinds of branches coming off. A leafy branch like this and a fruiting branch like this. And as we continue up, you'll see that at this junction of the main branch and the leafing branch, you have a sucker coming up right here. And that sucker, what it's going to do is it's actually going to produce leaves and fruit and become basically a new main branch. And what you're going to want to do is, if you're going to prune, you're going to come in here with your scissors. You're going to cut that off right there, as close as you can to the main stem. And if you come back over here, I can show you. What I'm using is some disinfectant alcohol on my scissors before I trim them. And what that's going to do is kill all the bacteria on my scissors, so that when I cut that bacteria is not going to get into the plant and cause an infection and weaken the plant. Now you can see here, as we continue up the main stem, here's another leafing branch going out this way, and up here's another sucker. So we'll go in and we'll gently cut that away. And then it's important to identify that this is the main stem, so we definitely don't want to ever cut that. If we cut that, the tomato plant will never get very tall. It'll instead get very bushy. So it really depends on how you want to grow your tomatoes. Some people grow their tomatoes bushy and don't even trellis them or put them in a cage. They just let them grow on the ground, which is just fine. But for me, I'd rather have them growing up, which maximizes my space vertically, and it gives them more light, more space to grow other things, like I'm growing these bunching onions here down at the base, or I'll grow basil next to it, like that, a good companion plant for tomatoes. And if you can see through there, you can see some marigolds, orange flowers, right there. Those are also good companion plants for tomatoes. So I'm going to grow them upwards, and so I'm going to cut off the suckers and let them continue growing. One more thing you're going to want to do with tomatoes, especially if you don't have a roof over them like I, is you're going to cut all the lower branches too. And you can see here, this branch is actually quite close to the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that one off. And what that's going to do is it's going to prevent any splash up when it's raining or when I'm watering. The dirt splashes up onto here, and that also can create some disease or infection with the plants. So I'm going to keep a lot of space here, which maximizes the airflow, which prevents fungal diseases as well. The last thing I want to talk about is right here at the base, you can actually see another branch coming up out of the soil. And that's clearly coming off of the main stem below the soil level. I'm also going to want to take that out. Just like that. And you can see we've already gotten some tomatoes started. These are mini tomatoes, so they should be ready in a few weeks. And that's all there is to it. Thanks for joining us today, and have a nice day.